Santiago Menendez, father of Selena, was one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in Elizabeth Ford Township. With his iron fist pressed firmly on the board of directors of Elizabeth Ford High School, among many other things, and the various connections he had to the Spanish mob and the cartel, it wasn't easy for anyone to step up and confront him on his misdoings. In other words, he and his family could do no wrong. I've recently found out about Santiago's seedy connections from Cody. Yes, that Cody. After posting the first entry of this chronicle, I tried to get in contact with anyone who had involvement with the Rebecca incident, and Cody was the first person to get back to me through social media. After making some arrangements and explaining the purpose of my research, he agreed to let me interview him on Skype. I wish I had the footage to show you, but when I told Cody I wanted to record the session so I could use it for taking notes for later use, he did not consent to me letting any of the footage go public. So the best I could do was just play back the video and write down the conversation as I listened to it. Thanks again for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I just want you to be clear that if we run into a topic that makes you uncomfortable, then we don't have to discuss it.
After what I've been through, not much gets to me now. You know what I mean?
I think so, but hope I never really do.
I envy you.
So you got out of prison how long ago?
About 4 years.
Mind explaining why you were incarcerated?
I think that was mostly explained in that story you wrote.
Mostly? Did something else happen?
Yeah. I was prosecuted for sexual assault and battery. But when the cops busted into my house, they also found some drugs that I got off that bitch.
Drugs?
Yeah. I could have gotten out of that one. But when the damn cops found out where I lived, they just came knocking at my door. My dad answered and didn't know what was going on. Then he showed the cops to my room, and I was doing a line of coke when they walked in. Still have the straw in my nose.
And there was nothing your dad could do?
Nope. I gouged the inside of my nose because they surprised me and made me jump. I was taken out of the house in cuffs, and blood was running down my mouth.
Did your dad know about the drugs?
Yeah, he used to make me share it with him. Bastard! And the fuck of it is that the powder I had was the stuff he asked me to get. The cut I got was just a reward. I probably wouldn't have even had it if it weren't for him.
Not to get off course, but where did the drugs come from?
Santiago, Selena's father. But I don't think he knew she was giving any of his goods to her friends. She said he would give her some as a reward. Basically, that was a form of allowance for her.
So I guess the rumors are true.
Not a rumor. Worse, actually. That guy was scary as hell.
Did he have anything to do with what happened to Rebecca?
I never knew for sure, but something tells me he was rooted to any kind of trouble his daughter caused.
What makes you say that?
I just started to notice a pattern after a while. Every time she went out of her way to make someone miserable, it wasn't long after, she would come into school bragging about some new thing her dad got her. Usually it was clothes. One time she got tickets to a concert.
What did she get after the Rebecca incident?
I think that's when she got her first car.
That seems to be more of a coincidence. So that's what makes you think Santiago may have been behind all of this?
Yeah, but I never pried into any of it. The guy really did scare me.
And what was so scary about him?
Actually, it wasn't so much him personally that put some of us on edge, but the company he would have at his house.
Like who?
I don't know for sure, but I remember this one time, I think I was in my sophomore year. I was at a birthday party for Selena. Everything was going good, but when I was using the restroom, I heard some commotion outside. After I finished my business, I passed the living room on the way outside and saw Santiago and some of his friends standing in there. They were surrounding this one guy who was acting fidgety.
Fidgety?
Yeah, I mean I've seen that look before on some of the kids in school who me and some friends would back into a corner, so I didn't really think much of it. A few minutes later, after I was outside and forgot about it, I saw Santiago and the people he was with all go into the same car. And the spooked-looking man was put in the back seat by some goon, like a cop would do to a guy who got arrested.
Was the man still looking scared?
More like condemned. They drove off and didn't return for maybe 3 hours. Santiago was gone for so long that he even missed his daughter opening her presents.
What do you think Santiago and his friends were doing?
I can't say for sure, but when they came back, I was standing on the front porch talking to some friends, and that's when the car pulled in. Everybody who left in it came back, except for that one guy. But Santiago and his friends were acting cool, like nothing ever happened.
What do you suspect happened?
Well, that's where things got fishy. When they passed me up on the porch, I got a look at Santiago's shirt collar. There was a red stain, and now I'm sure that was blood, but at the time I didn't get to look at it long enough. As soon as Santiago saw me glaring at him, he just snapped his head around and said, "What are you looking at?" Then he put his hands up to his collar, and I could see his knuckles. They were bruised and a bit swollen.
I can see why you were suspicious.
Well, that's the thing. Everything I saw looked suspicious, yeah. But his voice, I'll never forget it. I rarely ever heard him talk, since he was so elusive when Selena had company over, at least the few times I was there. But when he spoke, he had the cold, dead voice of pure evil.
So it's easy to assume Santiago and his friends killed the guy? Cody didn't respond to this question, but just stared down at his desk. Is everything okay?
Yeah. But that's all I gotta say about that guy.
Okay. Would you like to move on to the topic about Rebecca?
Sure.
What made you get involved with the incident?
Selena asked me to. Actually, that's not right. She seduced me. It's how she always got her way. Her looks and money were her weapons of destruction.
And that's why you did go along with this?
Selena said she knew I liked her, and said if I did this, that she would know I was one of the crew, and she would consider dating me. Sort of like some initiation.
I'm guessing things didn't work out that way.
Obviously not.
Was there any particular reason why she wanted to harm Rebecca? I mean, Selena's actions seem to have come out of nowhere, since I don't remember her ever giving Rebecca a hard time in school.
Actually, there was an incident between those two, but I only heard of it.
What happened?
Apparently, Selena thought Rebecca gave her a nasty look when they passed each other in the hallway on the way to lunch, and then Selena started a conflict over it. I don't know all of the details, but I heard it ended with Selena saying they didn't have any truffs in the lunchroom, and then she made a comparison between Rebecca and a pig.
And that's why Selena did what she did? Over a dirty look?
If that's all it was, then I don't think what happened would have happened. After Selena insulted Rebecca, Rebecca shot back with, "I may look like a pig on the outside, but at least I'm not one on the inside." Something like that. Like I said, I wasn't there.
And that's what fired up Selena?
I think it was more of the fact that Selena was left speechless and then left the scene. Then word started to spread around the school. Don't you remember that?
Not really. I always tried to avoid gossip.
Yeah, I remember you were pretty quiet. No offense, but I forgot you even existed until you got a hold of me.
None taken. There's a momentary silence between the two of us, and then something dawned on me. I don't know why my mind made this connection, but I decided to ease my curiosity. Cody?
What's up?
Do you remember that one teacher that up and left out of nowhere?
What do you mean?
Earlier you said you think it was in your sophomore year that you saw Santiago take that guy away, right?
Yeah.
Do you happen to have any of your yearbooks?
Actually, I dug some of them out earlier. I thought since we were going to be talking about high school, they would be put to use. You want me to get them?
Yes, but any of the ones that are from before 2006? Cody backs away from his computer, and this is when I noticed he is in a wheelchair. Cody rolled off cam for maybe 30 seconds, then came back with 2 yearbooks tucked under his arm.
Here they are.
Cody?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how to ask, but I think the look on my face was enough for Cody to figure out what I wanted to say.
Is it the chair?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Did you have an accident?
No. This happened not long after I was moved from the detention center to prison. Some thug heard I was an athlete, and I guess he thought he could get his rocks off if he crippled me.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
Tell me about it. I was in the showers and these guys held me against the wall while another one shanked me right in the back, severing my spinal cord. I fell to the floor and they had their way with me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that all back to you.
I'm over it now. Nothing I can do about it. What did you want to see in the book?
Do you remember Mr. Connors, the special ed teacher?
I've heard the name, but can't put a face to it.
Can you open up one of the books to the teacher's section? Cody opens a book with the date 2005 on the cover. Find Connors. Cody flips through a couple pages and he continues to scan until his gaze becomes fixated. What's wrong? Cody holds the book up to the camera and points at the image of Mr. Connors. Is that the guy you saw with Santiago?
Yeah.
I had so many more questions, but Cody looked like he was getting tired, and I think I put him through more than he was expecting. I actually started to feel bad for him, so I just ended the conversation. Okay, Cody. Thanks for doing this, and sorry if I took up too much of your time.
It's no problem, but do you mind if I ask you something?
What's that?
Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry?
This whole story about Selena. What's the point?
I have a number of reasons, but I think I mostly just want to give people some hope and show that nobody is indestructible.
Like what happened to Selena?
You mean in the gym?
I only heard about it. Is it true?
Let's say that only I and anyone who witnessed it know the true version of the story.
So you're going to talk about that too?
Yeah, that's my plan.
I was always curious about what really happened. I hope you get to it soon.
Don't worry, I will. And I promise I will get to the part some of you are waiting for. I still have some more digging around to do, so I need you all to hang in there for just a little longer. Before Cody and I ended our interview, I asked if he could refer me to anyone who can give me more info on Selena, and he directed me to Brandy, the girl who was the only other person that was seen in the Rebecca video. I hope in doing this, I can find out what happened to Mr. Connors, and maybe more about Santiago and the strange relationship he had with his daughter. But this is all I have to say for now. More will come in due time. Thank you all for your patience. The punishment will come soon.